Like, who tryna call me they friend? God, mad, Sam, all knock with the both from her. Where is it?
Sorry guys, I was a little distracted. Today we will be talking about the economics of FIFA. Um, Firstly, y'all get started with aggregate demand. So, aggregate demand refers to the total amount of goods and services that consumers, businesses, and governments are willing to buy at a given price level in an economy. So, how does this connect to FIFA? Well, it connects to FIFA because there's a demand for cards that perform better based on the in-game abilities and stats. So, here I'll give you an example. Here is my ultimate team. Just tweaked it a little bit, got the Portland Timbers legends, Charles. Anyway. So, an example of a player that has a high demand due to its abilities is right here, Mbappe. As we can see, he has 5-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot, 97 pace and 92 dribbling. This makes him a very sought out player in game because he's one of the best players. Okay, next we got aggregate supply. Aggregate supply is the total amount of goods and services that producers are willing to supply at the price level that is set in the economy. So this relates to FIFA because EA supplies cards at a certain price, as do the players that sell them on the market. So let me go to the transfer market real quick. Home. Where is it? Am I tweaking? What the? Oh, sorry. Got a little lost. We got the transfer market. So here we have pricing, minimum price, max price. Let's search up a player. Let's go with Messi. We got Messi. Let's just search him up. So here we got his cards, 6 million coins, something light. But yeah, see, here we have supplies of cards on the market. Okay, next we got scarcity. Scarcity is the limit on resources of wants and needs, meaning that there is not enough for everyone in the world. So this connects to FIFA because there are cards that are very scarce, such as this one right here. Let me showcase. Benzema, team of the season, Benzema. Whoop, let me go back. Benzema, go back to Benzema. What happened? Oh, there we go. So, Benzema, currently he is listed for 4.1 million coins on the transfer market. What makes this player so scarce is that it is one of the better cards in the game. As you can see, it's very high rated, 97. The max rating is 98. So this card is very rare, and what makes it even more scarce is the fact that it's a red pick. A red pick is something you get for playing matches in a tournament in this game, and depending on how many wins you get a certain amount of picks with these players. So yeah, getting them out of that is even more rare than just packing them randomly. But yeah, so here we have a scarce player. Next thing is inflation. Inflation is a general rate set for something that increases due to purchasing power failing, meaning things get more expensive. So this connects to FIFA with these called squad building challenges. Here, some cards go up depending on if the challenge requires a certain amount of rating. I'm not sure there's any examples right now, but some example I could give is, let's say, to complete this SBC, I need a minimum of, or here's an example. I need a team of the week or team of the season player in my challenge. So let's take an example. So in order to meet this challenge, I require one team of the season player. Um, and this causes an inflation in those cards. So some that aren't going for per se 10,000 might end up going even higher because of it. But a more clear example was when 85s had a huge inflation where they went from around 4K up to even 15K because a very sought out SBC was requiring at least I think 385s. So yeah, we had a huge spike when that happened. Next thing is opportunity costs. So this is the cost value of the next best alternative that is foregone when a choice is made. The costs you've given up in order to pursue a certain action or decision. So the way this relates to FIFA is that in the transfer market, we have players, right? Let's say you buy a player, but then as time goes on, the player loses its value because one, either a better version of that card ends up coming out, or two, a just the card isn't up to date anymore with the playing standards. So let's just look at this card for example. This card is now 275,000, 200,000 ish, right? Back in I want to say I believe it was January or December, this card was worth up to 900k thousand. And for anyone that bought this card back in January or around that time, had an opportunity cost of coins because by buying them and holding on to them, if they did hold on to them for so long, they lost around 600, 500k coins. So yeah. Next up, we got price takers. Price takers are either a company or individual that lack market share to influence market price on their own, so they accept the prevailing prices in a market. So in FIFA, as players, we are set to a prevailing price, which we must accept since we don't have any direct influence on the market price of players' cards. That's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you're looking to buy a player, you have to meet the price that is set either by the player who's selling it or just, in general the community, because depending on how good a card is, the community sets a prevailing price, but as an individual, you don't really get a say in it. Next, we have price makers. So a price maker is a seller that has enough market and pricing power to influence prices within the market. Due to EA being in charge of promos and store packs, they are price makers. And since these decisions will directly influence the price of cards on the market. So regarding what I last talked about, the price makers do have direct influence on the cards. And the way this is seen in the game is when EA decides to come out with promos. So an example of this is, I guess, right here. We have a Foot Hero card. This is a promo that came out maybe 2 months ago, 1 month ago. So before this promo came out, there was this promo right here called Foot World Cup Heroes. And this player right here, Okocha, has a version like this, but it is worth much less. So what made that happen was the price makers, EA, came with this new promo, upgrading the previous card. So they directly influence how much the price change would be from his World Cup version to his Foot Fantasy Hero version. Okay, next up we have price discrimination. So price discrimination is the action of selling the same product at different prices to different buyers to be able to maximize sales and profits. This connects with FIFA because the price of the same player may be more or less expensive on a different platform since they have different marketing conditions and users. So as you know, in gaming there's different consoles. Um, the PlayStation, Xbox, but the big price discrimination isn't in between consoles, more or less. It's more in between consoles and PC. In PC, we see a much higher price of cards compared to the console version. Okay, next up we have elastic and inelastic. Elastic demand is one in which the change in quantity demanded due to a change in price is large. This connects to FIFA because if the supply of a popular player goes up, the price will go down since there are more players available. And for the inelastic demand, if the supply of a more rare player decreases, the price will obviously increase since it is harder to get that player. Meaning, a large change in price is required to change the quantity demanded. So the way this connects to FIFA is that, let's say right here with Benzema, he is a very popular player because of his very insane stats, and that means that the other players available will end up going down, such as Mbappe right here. As I mentioned earlier, Mbappe was a very expensive card a few months back, but now that cards such as Benzema are coming out, these other cards are being left behind, just plummeting their price down because no one cares for them since they cannot compete with these other, overpowered cards in the game. Next up, we have externalities. So externalities are the cost or benefit that affects a third party who did not choose to incur the cost or benefit. This connects to FIFA because another player's actions can affect the other player's experience. Sportsmanship, such as time wasting or negative comments, which can make the other player really mad or frustrated. And a positive externality would be skipping celebrations and playing fairly. So, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes in this game, the other player, your opponent, can be a pretty toxic person, hitting celebrations every time they score, or just simply, time wasting, which is one of the most annoying things in this game, if I'm being honest. I mean, if anyone watching this plays this game, you will understand how enraging that can be. But yeah, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Diminishing marginal utility. So this is as consumption increases, the satisfaction of each unit decreases. So this relates to FIFA because as you upgrade your team in FIFA and you get the best possible players, you lose satisfaction using them every game, and it's not as fun as the first few times you use them. So yes, this game can be fun, but over time it gets pretty boring. Johny had a really good team at one point, but he just got really bored of it. So one day he made the irrational decision to just put all of his team into an SBC, and we called him crazy, but he didn't mind because he was just so diminished of the game due to its quality just going down over time. But I mean, some people still find fun in the game, but yeah, over time it can get boring. Next we have perfect competition. Perfect competition is the description of the market structure in which many small firms compete against each other in a perfectly competitive market. No firm has control over the market, and it has low barriers and is easy to exit or enter. So this is connected to the game of FIFA because in the market, players can easily buy and sell whoever they want, and it takes place where there are many buyers and sellers and no one has control over the market. So as mentioned previously, the transfer market, it's a perfectly competitive market. No one really has any control over it. The players all set a prevailing price, but anyone can just buy or sell cards as long as they are tradable in game. Next up, we have incentives. Incentives are a motivator for an individual or organization to act as a way to reward or benefit a person. They take many forms such as promos, money, or recognition. In FIFA 23, an incentive could be the rewards you earn for playing games. As you win more matches and climb divisions, your packs become better, and in the weekend league, you get way better rewards, giving you that incentive to play. So an example of this is right up here. We have FUT Champions. This is where I got that red player pick Benzema out of. So as you play, here we go. I'll show you. Here we have rewards. So as you can see, more wins equals much better rewards, much better packs. Here we go. Look, so this one, your pick is just a max 90 rated, which is considered to be not very good. But most people end up getting this rank 5 or 4. Here we see a 1 of 3 League 1 team of the season. These can be arranged from any player that is within that league. And yeah, just gives you an incentive to win as much as you can, so you can get even better rewards. As we can see here, you get 1 of 5, and there are 3 if you get rank 2, but this is very hard to do. But yeah, better rewards gives you an incentive to play. Next up, we have absolute advantage. So this refers to where a country or company or individual can produce a good or service more efficiently than another country, company, or individual. This relates to FIFA by the players with the better attribute or in-game stats will do a lot better job and give you a bigger advantage in game. So look, let me just give an example of this. So as you can see, I'm gonna just take Benzema as an example. Benzema has 5-star skill moves and a 4-star weak foot, meaning that he can perform any skill move in the game because he has 5 stars. And a 4-star weak foot means that whatever his weak foot is, may be left or right, it's still usable in game. Anything below 3-star isn't really usable. You'll find your shooting to be bad if it's on their weak foot. But okay, so here we have Benzema, right? His stats are just incredible. You know, they're almost all over 90. And yeah, they're just good. But if I go into my club and let me just search up a bronze player. Here we go. And let's put him striker, forward. So, oh, do I have any bronzes? Hold on. Search bronze. Let's just go with any. Okay, here, let me take this guy for example. As we can see, all of his stats are either red or yellow, you know, 50s. In game, this player would just be absolute garbage. No one wants to use this. No offense to Fagir, but yeah, no one's gonna use this card. This is just absurd, right? So if you have cards such as Benzema in your team and you go up against someone with Fagir in their team, you just have an absolute advantage over them, and it's just not fair. Okay, next and last, we have a monopoly. So a monopoly is an enterprise that is the only seller of a good or service. Obviously, EA is a monopoly since they are the only seller of, you know, store packs, which means that the only way of getting tradable cards is through buying store packs. And not to mention, the better packs are usually more expensive in order to get the most profit possible. So in this game, the only way you can trade these cards is if you play this game mode and get these packs tradable. But more often than not, a lot of these players don't get a high enough rank to actually make any profit off of these packs because they're not good, the packs or the player. But yeah, so what's next for you is to buy some packs. And here I'll go to the store very quickly. So the currency in this game is called FIFA points. As we can see here, we have all these packs, right? You know, these packs that are less expensive are usually really bad. As you can see, it just says a special version of rare player packs with additional rare gold players. So nothing is guaranteed. It's just rare players in the pack. But gold rare like sounds exciting, but it's really not. It's just like common cards. But yeah, as you can see, the least expensive ones don't really guarantee a rating of a player. It could be random. It could be highest rating is 82 or 81 or maybe 90. You never know, right? But here, the more expensive packs, right? This is 400k with coins, but if you buy it with FIFA points, it's 2,000. But here we have a player that is guaranteed, or three guaranteed players that are at least 87 or higher. And here we have a one guaranteed to be 88 or higher, and just 100 players guaranteed, right? In this pack, this one has 50. But yeah, as you can see, these packs are pretty expensive. Let's see how much 3,000 is. So 3,000 would cost you in around $27. I mean, for a one-time buy, I guess it's not bad, but you know, some of these players out here, you know, go crazy with these things to attempt to pack really rare players, or just, you know, make coins and stuff. So yeah, but that concludes the economics of FIFA. Thanks for listening, Johnny. Thanks for your input on this. Just kidding, I love you, man. All right, bye. Thank you again. But the end the stream. This is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. And broadcast. And broadcast. And broadcast. Oh, I'm choking. What? What the fuck about the home button?